Steve Kroner, San Francisco Chronicle. Troy, what got Ashton the starting job ahead of the other two guys?
Yeah, I'd say experience, the consistency. You know, they got, all three of them really had a good camp. I think we could win with all three of them. But probably his experience, and you know, he's a good runner, and he's a dual threat guy, and but all three of them could play.
All right, Michael Robertson, Sports Radio Service. So, what would you surmise what happened in the second half? You guys looked good at halftime, but then they got 10-0 run in the third quarter, and then fourth quarter, back and forth, but they had the advantage.
Yeah, well, you know, we had the lead late in the fourth quarter, so our guys battled. They're a good team. They're resilient. We're able to take the lead with, I think, 6 minutes left, and we got to get a stop, and then we got to go back and score again. So just didn't finish it. I thought we did a good job being resilient. Obviously struggled offensively in the second half. Early on, we were able to stay in it. Our defense made some good stops, but you know, just wasn't enough plays to come out with the win.
Lawrence Arena with Stanford 24/7 Sports. Elik Aominer early on had a little bit of a quiet start, but then he really got ignited in the second half. Early on, was it more what TCU was doing, and did you have to adjust and try to get him going like in the second half?
Yeah, well, they're up front. You know, we struggled to protect, so it starts with that, and then we got to win our routes versus man coverage, and we got to throw the ball accurately. So it was really all three of those things, especially when you're not running the ball really well. You got to be able to protect, and they brought a lot of pressure and. Created some, you know, get us getting rid of the ball probably earlier than we'd like him to have to. But at the end of the day, you know, in all three of those phases, protection, winning routes, and throwing accurate balls, we weren't good enough.
Jason Burke with Stanford on SI. Obviously not the result that you wanted in the opening game, but there was a lot of positive takeaways from this game. What stands out to you on the positive front?
Yeah, I mean, resiliency. We got more turnovers that were big. That was great to see. Our defense create some turnovers, really made a big difference. And our guys keep competing, and those are the positives for sure. Had a chance to win. Emmett Kenny kicked the ball really well. Just, you know, the disappointing part is not being able to finish, make some plays down the stretch on both sides of the ball.
Troy, what went into your thinking on going for on those fourth down calls in your own territory, particularly the last one when you had it, I think, 16 yards?
Yeah, we have analytics, and you know, we play the percentages, and so we trust that for the most part. And were situations where it said it was in our best interest to go for it. We converted some big fourth downs that I think kept us in the game. So I'm going to try and always be aggressive.
Ben Parker, CardinalSports.com. Coach, just thoughts on, I noticed, I'm not sure Sam Roush caught a pass tonight. Just
he caught one, yeah.
Caught one. What could you guys have done more to get him more involved offensively in the receiving game? Or is that part of a decision to have him block more? Just thoughts on that?
Well, no, he was in the progression. I mean, he's early in the progression in a number of concepts. He just either wasn't open or we didn't get him the ball. I'd have to watch the tape, but he was definitely out in the pass game, and he was a part of it. Yeah, I don't know how many catches. I know he had one. I can look if you want me to. Yeah, he doesn't have one, but he caught a slant route, right?
Okay, Coach, on that first drive, it looked like everything was going to go your way. You had 3 penalties by these guys that kept your drive alive, and you got the score. But on their end, Hoover came back and great quarter for him and a great drive for him, perfect. So did you expect Hoover to play this well, or is this a surprise for you?
No, we knew they were an explosive team. They've got good wide receivers, and the quarterback played well last year. So we knew they'd be a handful for sure. Yeah, we got like I said, I thought our guys were resilient. That was a tough drive. You know, we got some penalties that helped us against them that kept the drive going, and then found a way to get in the end zone. It was kind of one of those nights our guys kind of found a way on some touchdown drives, just consistently not able to win up front like you need to win these type of games.
Micah led the way in carries out of the backfield. What led to that decision, and what have you seen from him in camp?
Yeah, he's been the most productive, consistent guy in camp, and so we felt like he deserved the start. It's a big stage for a young guy. He did some good things, but there's a lot of things that he can improve. He'll get better.
next week is Cal Poly. You know Cal Poly very well from your days at Sacramento State, but what are some of the things that you've seen out of a Paul Wolf-led football team over the years?
Yeah, we had a new staff since when we played them. So I do know Paul, and he's going to be fundamentally sound, and he'll get his guys to play hard, and they'll be ready to roll.
Harold Gutman with the Bay Area News Group. Did you feel like the defense kind of got worn down at the end of the game, and how much did that play into your decision to go for it on 4th and long?
Yeah, I mean, definitely plays a role. I would say, we gave up a lot of yards, but not a ton of points early, and just weren't able to really put too much resistance on that last drive. That was kind of disappointing. When I had a chance to win it, but we'll look at the tape and find ways that we can improve and find a way to get a stop there.
Yeah, just kind of how would you kind of grade the performance of the defense overall?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I would say before watching the tape, that's hard to do. I think the turnovers were good to get those turnovers. Had a couple more we had a real shot at. It would have been huge. Obviously gave up a lot of yards, but had some good stops, some crucial stops. Got to improve on 3rd down. We got to be able to get off the field. They had a lot of 3rd down conversions that kept drives going.
Any other questions for Coach Taylor?
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to go right into players. We have Ethan Martell, and we'll go straight to questions.
How y'all doing?
Ethan, how would you rate the defense's performance overall?
I mean, I thought it was a pretty solid day. We gave up a lot of points, but I think we came in and did what we had to do for a lot of moments. You know what I mean? Obviously we left some plays on the table. We could be better, but I feel like we're taking the right steps and moving forward.
One of the guys you had to account for, Savion Williams. I mean, he had 11 catches, but you guys held him to the 85 yards. Like overall, would you say that you guys were proud of the way you played against a talent like that?
Yeah, we know that he was going to be a big part of the offense coming in. So, our coach did a great job of making that a key emphasis in our game plan and making sure he doesn't touch the ball as often. So, yeah.
Just kind of on the turnovers you guys were able to force, just kind of what was the key to you guys' ability to do that? That seemed to be an improvement from last year.
Honestly, just running to the football, playing harder. You see a lot more white hats around the ball. And, just being able to, Coach always talks about finishing, finishing with violent arms, violent hands around the football, and just being smart, tough, dependable at the end of the day.
Do you feel like the defense just got worn down at the end, or what do you think happened on that drive that they went, got the go-ahead score?
I don't think we wore it down. I just, it's football. They're gonna make some plays. We just got to be able to stop them. Our coach Taylor, went for it on 4th down, and he trusts us. You know what I mean? He trusts us to go out there, and you see we do what we did. So I don't think we wore it down. In the game of football, they're gonna make plays, and we just have to be able to be the best at the end.
Ethan, maybe you've been here a year plus, and you guys have not won in this stadium. Was that discussed at all before the game, toward the end of the game, or is that something that people in the media talk about and you guys don't?
I think it's more media. We take one game at a time. We're not too focused on the outside noise and on what everyone's saying about us. At the end of the day, we're gonna play one game at a time, and we're really just focused on us. At the end of the day, outside noise is not really a big factor to how we play.
I think Jay Green forced one of those fumbles or something, but just talk about what he brought to the defense and what was it like having him out there today.
He's brought a lot of energy, experience. Obviously coming from UW. He's a leader on and off the field. Real quiet guy, but leads by example. And he's very vocal out there on the field, and he brings the energy that we need every single play. So we're glad to have him in the secondary.
Any other questions for Ethan?
You guys have a good night.
It'll be just a moment for quarterback
All right, Michael Robertson, Sports Radio Service. So Ashley ran for 89 yards and threw for a touchdown. When you have it balanced like that, is that the way you wanted to have it, or you look at what Hoover did on the other side, throw for 353? So what type of game do you like to play? Is it like what happened today?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily, matter to me. I wouldn't rather, have one game one way and one game the other. Whatever is helping our offense out the best, whatever scoring us points is what I like.
Lorenzo Reyna with Stanford 24/7 Sports. There was a lot of flash out of this offense and a lot of big plays. But overall, like when you look back at it, how would you critique tonight's performance overall?
Yeah, as a quarterback at this, high of a level, when you're a leader of this offense, you take the blame for a night like tonight. We were moving the ball well. I had some mistakes. Some mistakes that obviously I would never want to have out there. Some that are kind of, hidden to the public eye. But, whether it be going through my progression the wrong way, footwork, just being decisive, staying in the pocket. I'm just going to have to take that one on me.
Jason Burke with Stanford on SI. You had a nice rapport, or you were targeting Jackson a little bit in today's game. How would you describe your rapport with him?
Say that one more time.
How would you describe your rapport, just
with Jackson?
how you go with Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of trust in Jackson. Obviously, that's why I targeted him a lot tonight. I've built a lot of trust and chemistry with all of our receivers. So, there's not a certain guy that I want to target every single game. There's not a certain guy I want to target every single drive. He was open. I threw the ball up, gave him a chance. He's beating himself up for it, but he's a young guy. I would never lose trust in him based off one game because I know how great he is, and I know that he's going to use this game as motivation, and he's going to have a really good season.
Ashton, Coach would not tell us who the starting quarterback was going to be until you took the first snap. When did you know you were going to be the starting quarterback?
I found out sometime earlier this week.
This week?
Yes.
TCU was running a lot of multiple stuff. I mean, there were moments where they ran four defensive linemen, also three. Like, did they throw anything that maybe like you weren't expecting? And did you also get a chance to watch some Boise State film to prepare for this defense because of the defensive coordinator being from Boise?
Yeah, we watched a lot of Boise State defense, as we prepared for this week. They came out in some stuff that we expected, and they also came out in stuff that we didn't expect. They had their tendencies. They had, a great defensive scheme. They ran it well, but, ultimately, I think that we were the better side out there. We just couldn't execute to the best of our ability tonight.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. You guys put up 17 points in the first half, put up 10 in the second half. Offensively, you guys got kind of a lot more sluggish second half. What do you think accounted for that? Was that adjustments they made, or just why weren't you guys able to find the same kind of offensive rhythm in the second half?
Yeah, sometimes that just happens. Defenses come out and different stuff than they did in the first half, and we have to adjust to that, pretty quickly. They had a great scheme for the second half, and, we couldn't move the ball as efficiently as we wanted to. Props to them.
Harold Gutman, Bay Area News Group. When TCU took that lead with 3 minutes left and you guys came back on the field, did you know you were going to go for it on fourth down no matter what? Were you surprised to stay on the field when it was fourth and long?
Yeah, no, I thought, we were going to go for it no matter what. It wasn't necessarily four down territory, but, when you're down with not too much time left, you can't, put all your marbles into one basket and hope that we get a stop, which I have all the trust in our world and our defense to go out there and get a stop. But, Coach told us that it was going to be four down territory. We went out there and unfortunately couldn't execute.
Ashton, not telling any tales out of school. You guys haven't won in this building since the middle of the 22 season. How much is that discussed before, during, or after the game, or is it kind of a media thing and you guys don't discuss it?
Could you repeat the first part of the question?
You guys have not won in this building since the middle of the 22 season. How much of that do you guys discuss at all, before the game, after the game, Or is it more kind of those of us in the media discuss it and you guys don't?
Yeah, no, we don't worry about any of that kind of stuff. That's the past. We let that go. We flush it. You know, Coach Taylor's always saying to flush it and move on to the next. So, you know, I've already flushed TCU out of my mind, and I'm ready for Cal Poly next week.
Okay, Ashton, this is a Power 4 school since, you know, that other conference is gone. How would you gauge this level of play against this school, being that you're going to have the ACC competition coming up pretty soon? So how does a game like this help you figure out where you guys are?
Yeah, obviously, you know, TCU has always been a well-known football school. They have a great squad. And it was a good early test for us, but we came out and showed our potential. You know, in every aspect, I think we should have won that game. We couldn't execute tonight like we wanted to, but you know, that we're just going to use that as motivation for the next, you know, games coming up, and we're looking forward to all the challenges.
Second year in Troy Taylor's system and offense, would you say that now you're growing more comfortable, or do you feel like that there's still ways to go on your end?
No, yeah, I think, you know, I definitely feel a lot more comfortable in the offense. I think everyone does. You know, that comes with playing 12 games last year and then, you know, having a whole spring and fall camp. So I think a lot of the guys are a lot more comfortable, which, you know, is exciting for our offense and our future.
Obviously not the result you wanted tonight, but what were some of the positive takeaways that you're going to take away from this game?
Yeah, I think, you know, just the way that we moved the ball when we really wanted to. You know, those big touchdown drives were huge. They were great to see. You know, that first touchdown to Jackson, that was awesome. You know, we kind of beat ourselves up on that first drive. Wasn't our best drive, and we still went up and put 7 points up on the board. So that goes to show our potential. Justin's touchdown pass to Ishmael was amazing, and then his run, you know, driving the ball down the field and then finishing with a powerful run, you know, right up the middle is great to see as a quarterback. So yeah, I think we had a lot of positives tonight.
Thank you so much, Ashton.
Thank you, guys.